It's been something we've been talking about here on the Sports Cubicle with the marvelous one, Dan Marver, Devin Tingle, Paul Chivari, and myself, Mike Mercado. I've been harping about this forever when it comes to the Chicago Bulls. The toughest title to win will be championship number 7. But we do have a 7th professional basketball championship here in Chicago, thanks to the Chicago Sky. And the Chicago Sky found the way to bounce back after what was a crazy series and just dominate at the end of it. And now they see themselves going up against the Connecticut Sun. And marvelous one, this is a team that has really captured Chicago, not just last season, but this season. We saw Wade win the Executive of the Year. This is a team that's just full of stars. And obviously one of the biggest stars to ever play in the WNBA, a hometown girl, Candace Parker. I mean, we can go up and down the roster of people who are able to set up shots, people who are able to make up shots, people who get rebound. Like it's a really good basketball team. How much fun for you, loving the game, loving scouting, to watch women's basketball, the WNBA, flourish in Chicago without any help of the Chicago Bulls and them winning a championship now?
You're right. A lot of the WNBA teams have a partnership with the NBA and play even in the same arena. The Sky never has. They're playing in Wintrust Arena tonight as we speak, 7 p.m. tip. And I like the fact that I watch a game from Wintrust Arena with 3 times more people than I've ever seen there in person. So that's a plus. The schedule is quite interesting, though. They can't afford to lose the first game like they did in the previous series. However, one advantage they have vis-a-vis the Liberty series is that was 2 games at home and then 1 on the road. That made it a little challenging when they went back to New York 1-1. Here it's a 5-game series, more typical 2-2-1. But the weird thing is they start Sunday, then they have 2 days off until Wednesday at home. Then, believe it or not, they have 3 days off until next Sunday in Connecticut. Oh. It's just a little bizarre. Then that's just 1 day off. But this is the first. We're going to be going from today Sunday until next Sunday, and then we'll only played 3 games. In fact, it'll be less than a week because today's game's at 7 and next Sunday's at noon. So technically, it's less than a week. But be that as it may, Connecticut is a strong team. I mean, they're a 3 seed as opposed to Liberty was a 7. So in and of itself, that should mean something. So hopefully they'll be able to get off to a good start here. And Candace Parker, to me, it's not like she's like a Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or something, but she has that winning mentality. It's something that's like she has a will to win. So it seems like she can carry a team, mentally to win, like some of the great ones on the men's side. So that's a big difference. They have the other pieces. And in the WNBA, unlike the NBA, you don't have a lot of the aggressive post play. A lot of it depends on outside shooting. You're not going to, you get a lot of great inside post play with passes, but it isn't the same where they're like the big guys in the NBA are jostling for position. That you won't see too much in the WNBA. So as the outside shooting has to be the key, and they have that with the players that they have. So that's the key. They got to hit their outside shots, and they have a good shot if they can, win this series, and they get Las Vegas or Seattle in the next round, and then they can repeat. So good start tonight is needed, and that would really be good because then honestly they only have to win 2 more out of the next 4. So that would be a big key.
Yeah, it's interesting because you talk about how important the guard play is, and that's why it's such a big thing for the Sky, like such a advantage when you have Candace Parker. But you're also talking about Courtney Vandersloot, Copper, you have Allie Quigley. Like, this is a team that is able to make big shots, and when one of them isn't doing it, they have 3 other people who are going to be able to take you out. And I think that's why a series against Seattle would be so fascinating to see how they match up. Got legends on both sides of that team being able to go at it. That would be a lot of fun. I like Las Vegas. Las Vegas has done an interesting job, whether it was their hiring of Hammond to this point now where they're at. I really enjoying what we're seeing in this new age of the WNBA, how they're putting this all together. And it doesn't hurt when you have a hometown hero who happens to be one of the best in their sport playing here. Chicago wins a championship. It's really important for this league to have this, and they're doing it on their own. They have ownership that's a partnership with a lot of different people that care about this sport, and you're seeing it with a full Wintrust Arena. And it's not like DePaul is able to do that, and DePaul has a great women's team, so it's not like that arena isn't used to having great basketball there. It's just now seeing it on the pro level has taken it to a whole new level for the Chicago Sky, and it's going to be a fascinating series. What makes Chicago different than everybody else is in the WNBA, it's pretty much parity. Everybody has a good player. Everybody has a chance to winning it, especially when you play the entire league, because there's only like 12 teams and so many teams make the playoffs. You just know each other. But the Sky are the only team that got better, that added more stars. And that is so fascinating to see for a Chicago basketball team to be able to be a destination spot for these stars in that league. But Marvelous, do the Sky win this series? Do they go back to the finals?
I think they do. Now, the interesting thing is, you talk about the bigs. Lily Copper was the MVP last year. She's 6'1", and she went to Rutgers. And you, those of you that don't follow it that closely, she was acquired from Washington in the Deladon deal.
Yeah.
So, and she was a bench player with Washington. And that, I mean, it wasn't Candace as the MVP. It was she, Khalid Copper. So that could be a key too, if she can really, come out with, a 20-point game, and then Candace's triple doubles, and then the outside shooting. That's all they need. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for Quigley to hit her outside shots as well, as long as Vandersloot. And they're clever passers too. Sometimes they have some really clever inside passes. So I think they have what it takes to repeat home court advantage, which they would have over Las Vegas. But I think whichever one is the one seed. I think Las Vegas is the one. They wouldn't have it in the finals in that case, but they would over Seattle. So that's the key. The home court advantage, get a good start, and bring it home, and have another 10,000 seat Wintrust Arena, which I love.
It'd be great. It's a loud, one of those loud arenas, kind of like Allstate. When it's filled,
Yeah.
and they let you know it. But we want to see the Sky do great, and we want to see you supporting the Sky, just as we do see Red Nation, Sky Town. Let's show some love for our defending WNBA champions. It's gonna be a fascinating series. I do think they win the series, and I think it goes all 5, but we'll see. Hopefully, they can make it a little bit less stressful for themselves. We want to know your thoughts. What do you think about this run for your Chicago Sky? What do you think about the new look of the WNBA? I think it's got some traction. It's doing great against ratings, especially against some of the other tier sports like the MLS and some of these other sports. It's starting to make its way into one of the main foundations. So shout out to everybody doing that great job. And, like we said earlier on the show, Marvelous one and we're hoop heads. So we don't care whether we're talking about the NBA, NCAA women's, or the WNBA. We're going to talk about it with excitement. We want to know your thoughts. Let us know. We're on Twitter at Sports Cubicle TV. It's the Marvelous one, Dan Marver. It's Devin Tingle. It's Paul Chivari. I'm Mike Mercado.